You're gone, who remembers your name? Who keeps your flame? Who tells your story? Who tells your story? Who tells your story?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Introduction to Humanities. My name is Professor Verdis LeVar Robinson, and I will be your instructor for this semester at the Urban College of Boston. A warm welcome to everyone, and I'm very, very much looking forward to meeting everyone virtually. But this is going to be asynchronous class, so we will never be able to be together online all together. But we're still going to have a great time in this class, and I'm very, very much looking forward to it. By the way, there I am. Hello. I am actually filming this from Montpelier, Vermont. I have two places that I live. I live in Dorchester, Massachusetts, and I also live in Montpelier, Vermont. So it's great that we're going to be on online together, and I'm very, very much looking forward to this class. As you can see, some of the images that are up here, you may recognize some of them, but you may not. Above me is from Hamilton, of course, so we're going to be talking about Hamilton. Right next to Hamilton is William Shakespeare. We're going to be talking a little bit about him. Next to him is Leontine Price, an African American opera singer that you may not have heard of. And next to Leontine Price is the statue of David. So we're going to be talking a little bit about art, as well as below is an orchestra. So all of those images, they represent the humanities, the performing arts, the literary arts, the fine arts, musical arts, which is part of the performing arts, as well as we're going to be talking a little bit about religion and philosophy as well. So, just to let you know a little bit about me, since my image is here, I don't have to have my image here, so I'll just turn off my video for right now while I tell you a little bit about me. So I was born and raised in Western New York, in Rochester, New York, actually, which is near Buffalo. It's near Canada, actually. And I have degrees in music, history, African American studies. In fact, I'm working on my fifth degree now, which is in ministry. So 5 degrees, yeah. And I have the gray hairs to prove it. But I taught as an assistant professor of history and African American studies at Monroe Community College, again in Rochester, for about 10 years. And then since then, I have led initiatives and projects expanding civic learning and democratic engagement in community colleges nationally. So I'm very experienced with the community of a 2-year school. Um, I also go by he, him, or they pronouns. And as I said before, I currently reside in Montpelier, but I do have an apartment in Dorchester, Massachusetts, which I frequent maybe monthly. So I'm going to bring myself back in so you can see me. So what this course is, again, it's an Introduction to Humanities. And this course will provide an introduction to the humanities through various art forms, including music, theater, visual and design arts, as well as literature and philosophy. And with that philosophy, we're going to add in religion to there. And so you will explore global cultures through the humanities and develop tools for gaining a deeper understanding of the great artistic works of human cultures and the enduring truths about human life that are expressed in these works. We're basically going to be answering, what does it mean to be human? So some of the course topics that we're going to be going over is we're going to be going over introduction to the course and ourselves, and then an introduction to the humanities, like an overview of the humanities. And then we're going to get specific, and this is where it gets fun. We're going to get into the performing arts, which I know just a little bit about, just saying. I know, actually, I know a lot about. But having gone to Boston University, College of Fine Arts for music. Actually, I was going to be an opera singer, but then I was too short. You can't really tell, but I'm like 5'2". But we'll get into that later when I get into the performing arts lectures about all of that. But I still sing a little bit. In fact, I'm going to be directing a gospel choir here in Montpelier for the next few years. So, the performing arts, we're going to be talking about that. And what does it mean to be human, going through all of these forms of expression, human expression, and the creative process. So, in addition to the performing arts, we're going to get into the fine arts. Fine arts meaning paintings, drawings, sculpture, digital arts, photography, things of that nature, and literature. We're going to be getting into some poetry, some short readings, and really talking about authors and really the creative process rather than reading a whole lot of poetry and a whole lot of books. But we will be reading some. But then the last thing that we're going to be going over is something that I'm very excited about, and that is comparative religions. Again, part of the human experience is spiritual, is religions. And that includes those that are not religious. So, very, very excited about these course topics. Again, we're in 10 weeks. So, it's a very, very short time that we're going to be together as opposed to a 15, 14-week class. But we're going to have a good time in this class. I just know it. So, learning activities, how are we going to get the information? There is no textbook. There is a textbook on Introduction to Humanities. It's about 500 pages long and it's cost about $100. Don't worry, you don't have to purchase that, and we won't be using that. We'll be using materials that I have found or I have developed, and we're going to be doing some immersive activities. So, first of all, there's going to be about 6 lectures. And in the syllabus, I miscounted, but I'll put up a revised version of it. I'm always finding mistakes. To be human is to make mistakes. And so, you know, grace abounds, right? So, we're going to have YouTube lectures by me. And what I mean by YouTube lectures, well, I will not be doing any live lectures. I'll be doing similar to what I'm doing right now, but we'll be debuting them at a certain time and a certain day. Mostly some Wednesdays at 5:30. Now, when I debut it on YouTube, the best way is to, I will provide a link, and I'll be talking more about this a little bit later on. I'll be providing a link, and you will have an opportunity, if you are available during that half an hour or hour, depending on the length of the lecture, to live chat with me and fellow students. If you do not, those lectures will remain there so that you can view them in your own time. We also have learning activities like readings, and I'll be posting them up, and they will not be all up at the beginning of this course, so they're not up now, but at least a week prior to when you are expected to do the readings and reflective questions during that week, they will be posted, and you will get a notification when they are posted. So there'll be readings and mostly videos and some reflective questions just for your own learning's sake. But as far as submitting anything, these are the course assignments. There'll be 6 discussions, 3 reflective journal entries, and then a final project. So let's get into a little bit more specifics about how we're going to learn the humanities and what does it mean to be human. So, first of all, YouTube lecture series, and I'll be doing about 6 of them throughout the course of the semester. This is the first one. Welcome to the course, an introduction to this course, and I'm glad that you have been able to either live chat with me or um, uh, peruse it at your own time. So, this is the first lecture. Next week's lecture, and that's on next Wednesday, will be something I call Lift Every Voice and Sing. Yes, you will be hearing me sing. So I will be performing in that one, but it'll be an introduction to the humanities, a broad introduction to the humanities and what they are and why we are focusing on just a few of the creative processes that really speaks to our being human and that really inform culture and cultural change. The third lecture will be The Humanity of Jesus Christ Superstar. Now, Jesus Christ Superstar is one of my favorite musicals because it takes religion or a religious belief, and you don't have to be Christian or anything in order to, to get what this musical is trying to deliver, but it really encompasses a lot of the humanities. For one thing, the Humanity of Jesus Christ Superstar, I'm going to be talking about the film version. So it brings in cinematography, cinematic arts, but it's a musical, so there's music, there's singing, and there's acting, and there's some art that is displayed in Jesus Christ Superstar. And it has a very, very diverse cast. So we'll be talking about the humanity of Jesus Christ Superstar, so I'm looking forward to that lecture. The fourth lecture is the humanity of Jacob Lawrence. Jacob Lawrence was a 20th century African American artist, and his artwork, mostly in drawings and paintings, reflected his contemporary African American experience. So we'll be talking about the humanity of Jacob Lawrence. And then we're going to be the fifth lecture. We'll be talking about Paul Laurence Dunbar. You may not have heard of him, but he was the first African American poet um, that gained international and national attention. And he really lived a short life. He died when he was like 31 years old, but he was prolific during his time. And there was a lot that was going on because this was right around the time of Jim Crow era, where African Americans, or really people of color and white people, were segregated legally. And this is the time that he was writing in. So, and then when we talk about comparative religions, I'm going to be doing a lecture on the African origins of religion. It's kind of debated about the origins of humanity, but most scientists and others believe that humanity was born in Africa and then migrated out from Africa. So, if humanity was born in Africa, religion was born in Africa as well. So, this is going to be an interesting lecture series. This is not the only videos or learning that you will do, but these are the learnings that I am going to be presenting and debuting live on those specific Wednesdays at 5:30. My mirror is, I mean, my image is mirrored, so when I go like that, I know my directions, but see, I just bear with me. So let's get into some of our course assignments. So our course assignments are in the form of discussions. So we'll have about 6 discussions that we'll do. So they will not be weekly. They're going to start off weekly, but then they'll be every other week that we'll do a class discussion. And so we will engage in a dialogue with each other, and there'll be a dialogue prompt, and I believe that they're all up on Google Classroom right now. But you might want to not just knock them out in a day, but just do them as we go along. And there'll be a prompt for each one of those dialogues. And you are to write at least 2 paragraphs in response to that prompt. Again, there's only 6 of them, so 2 paragraphs, 6 times during the semester is not really bad. But I need your response by Friday evening, and that's by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think we're all in Eastern Standard Time, but want to reinforce that just in case you're going on vacation or something. But 11:59 p.m. And this is just so that we all are on the same page. And then Following that, except for one of the discussions, you're going to comment on at least two other responses by asking a question, offering affirmation, and but make sure to respond to each person who responded to your post too. So in other words, everyone's going to be responding to their posts, and I mean everyone is. Let me scratch that. So comment on at least two other responses by asking a question or offering affirmation. And make sure, and after you do that, and that should be a paragraph, not just a sentence, but really engage each other. Again, this is going to take the place of us being in the same room and, asking questions and talking to each other. So this takes the place of that. But if someone responds to your post, respond back to them. Say thank you or answer their question that they ask. And make sure we do that by Wednesday night of the following Wednesday. Because by the following Wednesday, the discussions will close, and then you're on to your next discussion. All right. So in addition to those six discussion posts, there'll be three reflective journals. Now, three reflective journals are a little bit more writing. They're basically short papers, in essence. So they're reflective writing pieces, no more than 2 pages. Please do not go more than 2 pages. Um, um, but more than two uh, two uh, 2 paragraphs. I would say more than 2 paragraphs, at least a page. Now, these will be assignments that directly go to me. No one else will see them. So you can be as personable as you like to be. And they'll only be visible by me and you. And these are graded assignments. So there are no personal judgment on anything you write there. Okay. The first one will be on the performing arts experience, and in which you will have the opportunity to, and I'll send out prior to that, I'll send out some opportunities that I can find that you can attend and experience something in the performing arts, a performance in the performing arts. Either that's theater, or either that's musical or a concert or something like that. Doesn't have to be classical music. It could be jazz. It can be rock. It can be whatever that you can find. And I'll be listing some events. Some may have a cost associated with it, but the majority of them will be free events. Now, you can attend them live or you can attend them virtually, but not a recording of something. I want you to actually experience a live performance. But they can be virtually live performance. And then reflect on your experience. I'll be posting a list of questions to help guide you through that paper prior to those assignments. The second one will be similar to the attending a live or virtual, performance. Will be a Museum of Fine Arts. There's the MFA right in Boston will be a great opportunity. You can either go there and attend there for that assignment, or I will have a list of virtual tours that you can do of exhibits of museums of fine arts across the country. So, but to actually go to a museum of fine arts, especially the one in Boston, would be a great experience. But if you cannot because of your schedule or cost or things of that nature, I will have some virtual options. And again, same thing, writing a response on that. And you can see when that is due. And then the last one will be to create a short story, again, no more than 2 pages, or a poem. And that will be part of the literary experience. And then, so you'll write a short story or poem and then write about your creative process. And again, I'll have a lot of instructions to help guide you through that journal as well. The last but not least, in addition to the 6 discussions, the 3 journal entries will be a final project. To answer that question, what does it mean to be human? And that will be due at the last day of class. And what this is basically a summative or a summation and of your learning experience in this course. It could be on a major art movement, an artist, that's a musician, philosopher, writer, or even a theologian, a preacher, or style. But the most important, after you have selected what you're going to be writing about, is what is its or their impact on their society. So it doesn't have to be American, it can be anywhere from anywhere in the world. So that's what I mean by originative society, the society that they originated from. And also it doesn't have to be someone from now. It can be anywhere in the past. So what was their impact on their society and in that time period that they were writing or performing in or creating a style in. And this can be your creative option here. It can be a 3 to 5 page paper, or it can be a video presentation. You can do a video, and or you can do a PowerPoint presentation, and or you can even do a podcast or something like that. But it has to be substantial and very, very reflective, because it is your final project and it's worth 25% of your final grade. So take your time with this one and have some fun with it. But really make sure that I understand that you learned something in this class about what does it mean to be human. So now we're going to go through at least the first 3 weeks of the class, so that we can understand exactly what's required of us and what we're going to be doing. So this week, there are no big assignments or anything because we're all getting used to being in this class together. So this week, we will begin the course by getting to know each other, and your interest in the course materials and the course requirements. So the first discussion, which is due this Friday, is who are you? So in discussion, we will be sharing ourselves, our background, and what we hope to gain from this course and each other. And then by Monday, make sure, and or really by Sunday, make sure that after you post your initial post, that you reply to other people. You respond to other people, welcoming them to the course, and asking questions that they, or something that, or even saying, "Oh yeah, me too," or something like that. And make sure you do that by Monday, because next week, week 2, we're into the course materials. So when we're into the course materials, we're going to be talking about the art of creation, and an introduction to the humanities. So next week, we're going to be talking about what the humanities are, and like an overview of the humanities, and discuss the nature of the arts, appreciating the arts, and the creative process. And so there'll be some learning activities that will be up by Sunday, by this coming Sunday. So on Monday morning, go in there and there'll be what to read and what to watch and things like that for next week. And I'll be posting them for each week. For next week's discussion, which will be due next Friday, March the 11th, will be to discuss your initial thoughts on what does it mean to be human. So that'll be your initial thoughts. What does it mean to be human? And you do not have to look that up or anything of that nature, just your own personal initial thoughts when prompted with that question. What does it mean to be human to you? Um, Now, for that one, again, just like the first week, by Sunday, respond to each other for this one. For the other remaining discussions, we'll have a little bit longer to respond to each other. Speaking of which, week three. Week three, we're going to be into the performing arts, and so we'll be exploring the performing arts, including music, theater, cinema, television, and dance. And so examples will be coming from classical music, from musical theater, from gospel music, from ballet, television shows, and movies, including Leontine Price, who's an opera singer, Gone with the Wind, which was the first movie ever in Technicolor, and Mozart, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Stormy Weather, which was a all black movie, and in the 19, I want to say 1930s, maybe 1940s. I gotta look that up. It's not memorized, but around the area of the Great Depression, and so Stormy Weather, starring Lena Horne and some other actors, and that one is singing, acting, as well as dance. So, and it's a movie. So we'll be talking about that, as well as Jesus Christ Superstar and Kanye West. Some people don't really like Kanye West. I really don't like Kanye West either, but he has something that he created called the Sunday Service. And so we'll be looking at that and what that has brought to our contemporary world. And of course, Hamilton, just to give some examples of some of the what we're going to be watching, what we're going to be looking at for the performing arts. And we'll be doing that over 2 weeks, actually. So this is just part one. But the discussion will be examine the role of the performing artist in society. So musicians, actors, dancers, and etc., and how they contribute to cultural creation, meaning making, and societal change. And so for that one, we'll have a little bit more time to respond to others. All right. So again, with your discussion, write 2 paragraphs answering that prompt and then respond to other people's posts. So that's about our course in a nutshell. If you have any questions, like like chat me up, excuse me, in a live chat. I had too much, tea this morning, so I'm like burping my tea. If you don't know me by now, I'm real. And so this is what you get. And I hope that you will be real with me as well. Because that's one thing about being human, right? And then to not be real is another aspect of being human as well. We'll be talking about all of that during this course. And feel free to email me. Here's my email address. Actually, I'll go this way. And verdis.robinson@urbancollege.edu. And I look forward to engaging each and every one of you in this course. And I hope that you'll get something out of it. I'm sure you will.
Who tells your story?